So good evening, guys. Just an extra video for the day. I wanted to give kind of a perk to California Pigeon Derby. In my opinion, one of the toughest small OLR races in the country, managed by Tom Brasher out of Auburn, California. A lot of you flew in that last year. Input for the birds is starting now. We'll go through May 22nd. And there's a lot of, Tom has set up kind of a very unique little race. In addition to be a very tough course, he's got a lot of different, extra perks going on. If you flew in California Derby the first year, which was last year, you'll get perks for what they call a loyalty program. There will be prize money for flyers who are returning and place well. There's also what he calls a legacy program. If you enter pigeons that are off the same pairs or off a pigeon that flew in California Derby, there are also special perk classes for that. He's got what he calls the helmet class, which is for blacks and whites and ash reds. So this little guy, he's going to be in the helmet class. This little red check, where he's kind of a mealy. My intention was to send him to silver wings, but he's not really a silver. But lots of different stuff going on. If you go on to CaliforniaPigeonDerby.com, you can find entry information, or if you look up here on YouTube under California Pigeon Derby, or on Facebook. In fact, Tom just dropped a video about an hour ago here on YouTube under the California Pigeon Derby account, talking about some of the events are going on. We're having a photo contest for the race that Tom eats chili dogs for his every birthday, and today was his birthday, so he's having a kind of a contest to win a bird retainment chip, basically, that the top scoring birds of California Derby are typically auctioned off unless you choose to retain them and pay a $100 fee to retain them, so they don't go to auction. We do that at activation. Entries are only $100 per bird, so even if you pay to retain your bird and not send it to auction, you're still spending less than other OLRs out there to fly. But needless to say, he's having a photo contest. If you take a photo of yourself eating a chili dog, you will be entered into a raffle to win a retainment chip for one of your birds. And he's got a lot of other stuff going on. There's going to be some various events. He's going to have like a little harvest festival near the end, loft visits here and there, all kinds of stuff going on at this year's race that didn't happen last year. So this is the second year. So if you've never flown in an OLR, California Derby is one of your best shots at giving your first time. Some of the lowest entry fees anywhere in the sport, and on top of it, one of the probably the top toughest course of any race course out there, in my opinion. And that's the opinion of a lot of people, that it is a very tough course. Flying out of the high desert across the Sierras down into Auburn, and it takes good pigeons just to get them back, let alone to win. So if you really want an opportunity to test your pigeons out and do it at a low cost, California Pigeon Derby is the way to go. And I also think if you really want some high competition, it is the race for you, because it is a very tough race course, and some of the best lofts in the country are sending to California Pigeon Derby. You can enter up to, you can basically enter 6 bird teams, and you can enter up to 3 teams. I'm going to try to do all mine, and we're sending a lot of local pigeons down. They're going to go down to the race here in about the middle of the month. They're going to be transported down there. And part of the reason we're doing that is there's also prizes for the top club also. So we're going to make a very strong club entry this year. We did not do so well last year on the club entry. There were a lot of losses, especially early on in the race. Very, very tough, so we didn't quite Didn't quite get it. We were about middle of the pack as far as clubs are concerned. We expected to do a lot better, but we only had basically 2 pigeons competing in the end, and we only had 1 pigeon at the end. Only one of our local pigeons made the whole course and did pretty well and got quite a few points. But needless to say, if you want to enter a one-loft race and it's your first time, or you just want to support a good race that does not break your bank account, California Pigeon Derby is the way to go. Like I said, look up CaliforniaPigeonDerby.com, or you can look up California Pigeon Derby on Win Companion, or here on YouTube, or on Facebook, and you will find all the accounts for the race. And that's how you enter, is go to, in particular, go to wincompanion.com and look up California Pigeon Derby and reserve your purchase and get your entries in. So that is it, guys. I just wanted to kind of do a perk video to help promote the race. So hopefully you will fly with us there this year. See you guys next time.